If you had, let's say, 5 minutes with Donald Trump, right, and he actually wanted your advice on what to do with cybersecurity, et cetera, what would you tell him?
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys making the time. Well, a couple of things. I think one of the main enemies or issues with cyber is it's totally different than anything the government's dealt with before. This is, they can't approach this the way they approached bending metal in the Cold War. So they need to completely redo procurement for this. They need to, because it takes an average of 4 to 6 years to vet and procure hardware or software. Okay. And the technology changes every 6 months. So it means by definition everything they have is 4 to 6 years out of date. That's one issue. Understanding enterprise risk, real enterprise risk, from the beginning of where the source code is made to where the chips come from, looking at the whole process, not just who can hack it at the back end. You need a different kind of education and payment structure to be able to bring that kind of expertise to bear. The other area is to make a clear policy on going on the offensive. We have defensive policies, but for years it's been very confusing on what are we allowed to do, what violates a peace treaty, what is or is not allowed to be an appropriate response.
So tell me, does the U.S. have good white hat hackers?
The U.S. does? Yeah. Are you asking the U.S. or the U.S. government?
Oh, the U.S. government. The U.S. government, excuse me.
The U.S. government hasn't necessarily put a structure together yet where they can afford a good white hat hacker. They don't work for 40 grand a year in a Buick.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have good enough defences on that front. And when you're talking about going on the offensive, they don't have the people that can go on the offensive for them. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is to go on the offensive, first of all, you need to build offensive weapons. That takes the same budget, focus, procurement, and structure as building any offensive weapons. It's not something minor or small that can be done for a petty cash budget. And some of that budget, unfortunately, you can't do it with cheap labor. It's not hire 2,000 people to do it. It's hire 12 of the right people to do it.